All right. It is February 12th, a Wednesday. Today, I'm feeling pretty good, honestly. Neck of a plesiosaur, triceratops tail, and skull of a stegosaurus. Okay. I don't think that's anything. Pretty sure we're just looking for the Hawthorne bonsai. Interesting. Just looking for the mammoth skull. But I kind of feel like I'm gaslighting myself for some reason, so I'm gonna go double check just in case to make sure the stego skull isn't something we need. Anyways, today I'm feeling pretty good because I landed a basically dream music composing gig. And the story behind— oh, Sahara, hey, what's going on? I need like a carpet to— yeah, you'll give me a carpet. Well, I want to see what you have. See. You'll tell me, right? A chessboard rug. That's interesting. I kind of want to see what that looks like, even if I don't keep it. Well, I'll probably keep it just because it's a special item, but I do want to see what that looks like. I'll have to go grab a rug at some point. It's kind of a funny story how I ended up getting this gig. I don't know why I'm talking to you, Blathers. I want to go check the fossil exhibit. So, basically, yeah, it's the mammoth skull we're looking for. Basically, what happened, the game that I got I am composing music for, is a game called Gorecore.
Hi, this is
and it has a few composers on the project. So I'm not composing the entire soundtrack, but I'm hoping to contribute to as much of it as I can, because I'm very excited about this project. So basically, I came across this project randomly a few days ago. I can't remember exactly what day it was, but basically, one of the Gorecore developers, or I think the artist or something. I don't think he's doing any coding, but he made a YouTube video about the game and posted it just as a general introduction to what Gorecore was, and it randomly came across my YouTube feed, I assume, just because I watch a lot of fairly low view game devlogs and stuff. And so it came across my YouTube feed when it was only at 1,000 or 2,000 views in total. At this point, that video has reached almost 100,000 views. Maybe it has finally reached 100,000. It was at 97K last time I checked. But basically, I watched this video, and it's an absolutely insane video. And it just— everything about it just oozes with style, and it's really clear that the people working on this game have a very particular, a very particular vision for it that I feel like you don't usually see with new game developers. I'm pretty sure it is their first game, and just everything about the way they kind of thought about the game and the way they decided to present the game just was very clearly like it had so much thought put into it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Which it immediately caught my eye. And not only that, but it's a kind of game that I'm really, really into. It's they make a joke in the video about it being a fast-paced, I should buy a carpet, a fast-paced movement shooter, and how that's like the most oversaturated genre, which, you know, it kind of is, but that's fine. And there is a game called Ultra Kill, I don't know if you've heard of it, that I have put almost 100 hours into, which is a lot for me. I can't, like, I can't put hundreds of hours into games anymore like I used to when I was a kid. I'm just too busy all the time doing stuff, and so almost 100 hours in a game is a pretty big deal for me at this point in my life. And so this game basically promises to be Ultra Kill, but with a more sort of surreal, nihilistic story to go along with it, inspired a lot by Lorne's Lure, which is another game I've also played and really enjoyed, and a manga called Blame, or I think technically the correct way to pronounce it is Blame because it's Japanese, but I think it's cooler to say Blame, so that's what I say. And so it's like a fast-paced movement shooter like Ultra Kill, but it takes place in a gigantic mega structure. And in this game, like in Blame and Lorne's Lure, I think the mega structure that is presented in the story is some sort of ancient, like, long abandoned structure that no one really knows what the full purpose of, but in Gorecore the structure is actively under construction, and so that's why there are tons of... Wait, you gave me something else. What the fuck is this? I wasn't reading the dialogue because I didn't expect her to give me something else. Goodness gracious me. This is... Oh, that's just... that's just Egyptian hieroglyphs, isn't it? So anyways, everything about this game and the way it was presented and just what it is seemed like the most my thing a game could have been. And so for that reason, I was obviously immediately keen on potentially composing music for this game, especially because it seemed really small, and so it seemed like something I could reasonably, kind of weasel my way into so that I could work on it. So I joined the Discord server, and I saw they had an art channel in the Discord server for people to share their art, and I saw that the one of the developers, actually the guy that made the video that I saw, was like responding to a lot of people were posting their art in that channel, and the that developer was responding to a lot of like what people were posting. And so I was like, I guess you could say I hatched a plan in which I would post some of my music in this art channel, provided they were cool with us posting music in it. I did ask first, and kind of gauge their interest in my music, and whether or not they actually liked it or not, and if I should continue to pursue, you know, trying to get like my role as the composer. So I was like, hey, can I post music here? And they were like, hell yeah. So I posted some of my music, and the immediate reactions I got from them was, I mean, they just loved my music, which was really cool. That was fucking awesome. And not only was it, you know, the guy who made the video who was actively responding to a lot of the stuff in the art channel, but my music also drew the attention of one of the other devs who wasn't like actively responding to everyone. I guess he just happened to be looking through it, and he very specifically pointed out my music and like nothing else that was being posted, and said he really, really liked it. So that was just really awesome to, you know, hear that from some people who who were making something that I was really admiring myself, to hear that they also liked the stuff I was making, you know what I mean? And so I eventually posted my I posted my Outer Wilds Echoes of the Eye medley, and the guy who made his username is Frag, I'll just call him that, Frag, not the slur. I'll have to be really careful to pronounce the R in that. His username is Frag, so that's what I'll call him. Frag saw that I was like, he saw that I was posted an Outer Wilds medley, and he got really excited because I guess apparently he loves Outer Wilds. So that's another thing that, you know, that I share in common with these developers, I guess. And he was like, holy shit. And then he DM'd me, actually, an animation that he made a little while ago, as a tribute to Outer Wilds after he finished the game and the DLC. And then I was like, this is fucking awesome. This is beautiful. It made me cry. And then I sent him I sent him the like Echoes of the Eye finale video from my playthrough, so he could see what I wrote the medley for. He was very impressed by it and by how high effort it was for a playthrough series, you know? And then it was a little bit after that I decided to drop the question as to whether I could work on the soundtrack, because at that point I was pretty confident that he liked my music, you know, and that he, you know, like we both knew that we liked a lot of the same things and stuff. And so I felt like he would have reasonably thought at that point that I would be a good fit for working on the soundtrack. But I think I messaged him like right as he went to bed. And so I never got a response to that message. And so then over the coming days, I kind of tried to casually drop the question in like a few other places, and I guess he just like kept missing it or something, because I just never got any responses to anything. And then yesterday, I think it was, I saw someone come into the Discord server and ping him and ask, hey, game is cool, can I work on the soundtrack? Like, just very directly. And he said, yeah, go ahead and DM me some of your tracks and I'll see if you're a good fit. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. And then the next day I saw that guy was put like on the team to work on the soundtrack. And I was like, okay, well, that kind of makes me feel a little bit like shit. because I've been trying to get on the soundtrack for a while now, and like no one's been responding. So I decided to send him one last DM to say like, hey, I don't know if you saw this. I don't know if if there's a reason that I'm like not being considered, or if you've just missed my messages, but I would really like to work on the soundtrack if it's still even at all possible. And he responded like 5 minutes later, and he was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I don't know how I missed your messages, but I was for some reason under the impression that you had no interest in working on the soundtrack at all. And he was immediately like ready to bring me on board, which was fucking awesome. That was really great. And he didn't say this directly, but I have a feeling that him and that other guy who said he had liked my music, that, you know, the day I was posting it in the Discord server. I haven't mailed my fossils. I should do that. He didn't say this directly, but it felt kind of implied that he had actually wanted me on board, like just from the messages, just from what he was saying in his messages, that he and that other guy had wanted me basically on board on the soundtrack since the day I was like sending my music in the Discord server. But they just thought I had no interest in working on it, and I guess somehow missed all of my messages. And so it was really cool to see that they did, you know, want me working on this. They were impressed enough with my music that they wanted me on the team. And then after I started, you know, like after Frag officially brought me on board, I got a DM from the other guy who had said he liked my music, and he was like, oh my God, you're in, welcome to Gorecore. And that was just that was so awesome. I'm so excited, and I feel incredibly privileged to be able to work on a project this cool and have people who have been working on the project for like over a year and have been like the reason it exists, to be excited to have me on board, you know, that's such a cool feeling. And it's also a little scary too, because it's like, I mean, do I really deserve it? You know, like imposter syndrome, I guess, starts taking over. But then when Frag brought me on board, he officially, when Frag officially brought me on board, he immediately gave me a track to work on, which was basically the first level that would have a boss in it. And he gave me this really evocative description of how the level would start off, and I immediately my head started like flooding with ideas for how I could do this, which has never happened before in any of the games I've worked on. I feel like what's happened here is it's a combination of the game is so interesting and so much my thing that already it's like very easy for me to come up with something that I feel like is in the Gorecore style. And then also that combined with the fact that this is, I feel like, the first developer I've worked with who has actually given me from the outset, right from the get-go, has given me a really solid vision for like what I'm actually working on, you know? And I feel like that's not to say the other devs I've worked with have been like, I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, but not to say they're like bad at working with others or like don't understand what a musician needs to work with, you know, for them to make a soundtrack for a specific level or something. But I think it just goes to show how solid their vision is for this game, and it goes to show just how much easier that makes it for basically everyone in the process, because I was just immediately able to start putting something together based on his based on what I already knew about Gorecore and based on his description of the level, and what I started putting together I am very proud of, and I sent him over like just a little bit ago a snippet of what I was working on, and he was really excited about it too. He thought it was really good, which is very nice. I'm glad that I have made a good first impression, I guess. And I'm really excited to see where things go from here, and just generally very happy that I have an opportunity to work on this game. They haven't even I haven't even talked with Frag about how much of the soundtrack I'm gonna be working on. As far as I know, this could literally be the only track I write, but if that's the case, I would still be happy with that. Like, even if I only write one track for this game, the fact that I get to contribute to something this cool at all is pretty incredible to me. So I just think that's pretty cool. So I guess that's it. I will see you tomorrow.